Hey guys, what's up? My name is Anthony. Welcome to another edition of B&A Sports Talk. So this is the last video of 2020. I'm doing a little bit of a rebrand in 2021. I'm starting at Patreon. I'm starting this B&A Sports Running Podcast. I'm not too sure when you're seeing this compared to when I'm releasing it, but I'm planning on doing a running video every single day this month to get you started off with your New Year's resolutions. If quarantine didn't help you, if you want to get started running, I'll be with you. I'll be talking, running 10 minutes every day, and I think that's a good way to start and kind of a little bit of a collaborative effort. Again, I'm also starting a Patreon, and that's kind of build through the month. But yeah, so what I'm doing today is my predictions, like 5 or 6 predictions for 2022. Where are we going to be at this point next year in the NFL? I was thinking about doing MLB, NHL, NBA, but I don't know. I know a little bit more about football. The MLB, I feel like I wouldn't be offering like great content and like kind of know what I'm talking about. I'll be like, okay, the Dodgers are going to win the World Series. Like, great. First of all, let's start off with last year. Here are my 5 predictions that came from my video. I rewatched the video. I said Brady will be on a different team. The Buccaneers were not mentioned. I thought that the Buccaneers offense didn't really fit Brady that much, but you see the city, it kind of fits him. One of the cities I mentioned was like Miami. I also mentioned Oakland or Las Vegas now. And I said the Texans will be a top 5 pick. What I meant by that in the video is they'll be, top 5 in the draft. Their pick belongs to Miami, and that sucks for them. And I was right about that. Right now they're sitting, I think, at the 4th overall pick. So I was right about that. There we go. Nailed that one. Nailed both of them. Jameis will be a backup. Nailed that one. Even when he had the chance to start, Taysom Hill started. He only has 10 passes the entire year or something like that. Jameis is a backup. He's learning, and we'll see what he does from there. I said Seattle will drop. They just won the division, and I said 49ers will dominate. That's pretty funny. The 49ers got the worst injury luck in perhaps NFL history with all their, Nick Bosa going down, everybody like that, but, Richard Sherman. But, yeah, that's not what happened. In fact, it was pretty much the opposite. And then for number 5, I put Haskins and Rivera is less than Jones and blank, because we didn't know who the coach was at that time. It ended up being Joe Judge. And Rivera is elite, but I can say with surety, Jones and Judge, or question mark, is better than Rivera and Haskins. We'll see what Washington does. I have the whole video saying why they should pick Matt Stafford, trade for Matt Stafford. But let's get into this year's predictions. Again, these are not bold predictions. So a year from now, Rivers, Breeze, and Big Ben will not be in the NFL. They might have an extra year, but they will be making their retirement speeches. Phillip Rivers, he's good, but he still makes those boneheaded decisions. The thing which you get with NFL experience is don't make boneheaded decisions. Execute an offense, be able to put your team in a position to win and not to lose. Phillip Rivers, he makes some good plays, but, he's waning. Let's just say that. He's not awful, but the Colts need better. They need elite. And we'll see what they do, whether they go up there Sam Darnold. Next, Drew Brees. He's not going to be in the NFL starting after this year. I don't think he's going to go for next year. He's just injured, rattled. He's going to be a sports commentator. And then Big Ben, he always talks about retirement. I think he's next year, in my opinion. We'll get a more developed opinion, but I kind of feel like it's going to be a fading year, kind of like an Eli Manning. The Steelers are going to kind of push him out the door based on the new quarterback that they bring in. That's not going to be Mason Rudolph. Next, winless in Detroit. I'm predicting Detroit is going to end up with the number 1 overall pick. Matthew Stafford or not, they're going to have a new coach. They're going to have a new GM. And they're going to have to rebuild from the beginning. They're going to tear everything down. Even the players that they get, I'm starting to think now that I'm thinking more about this, the players that they're going to get are probably better than the players that they have in their current roster, like the Jared Davises of the world. I think you have to keep Trey Flowers based on the contract. The Jeff Okudas. The players that they bring in free agency or whatever, they may even be better than these guys, but realistically, who wants to play in Detroit? Right now, they have to strip down and completely rebuild. So I'm predicting Detroit Lions to be the number 1 overall pick. Next, the Patriots will be bottom 7 in the draft, even with the opt-outs coming back. How do you get better at football? It's not by rest. It's by continuing to play the game. Unless you're injured. Peyton Manning, he got injured, but he was elite. What are the odds that these guys that opt out, your Patrick Chunks or Dante Hightowers, come back and they're elite again? I don't think so. And plus, the thing you have to be successful is the quarterback. And Cam Newton, I think the Patriots just keep Cam Newton and then have a QB competition going into next year. Get rid of Jarrett Stidham. Have a QB competition with an up-and-coming guy. Cam Newton can no longer throw it down the field, but I don't think he's awful. I might come out with a video saying, why Cam Newton isn't awful, and he's actually pretty good, but he's not top 10 like Chris Sims was suggesting in the beginning of the year. I think there'd be a top 7 pick. And Bill Belichick may not be coach. He may just give it to Josh McDaniels and just start over in a whole new system. That's not my prediction, but I wouldn't be surprised if that happens. That would be very interesting to see. My next prediction is the Chargers and the Chiefs will be one game apart going into the last game of the season. They will be knotted and tied up because the Chargers are getting a new head coach, and you're going to have a lot of returning players. You have Joey Bosa. I'm not too sure what the Melvin Ingram contract situation is now, but in the first round, you're going to get an offensive lineman. You already have a plurality of weapons. I think this is the year where you surround Justin Herbert with weapons. Now, he may have a second-year slump, like a lot of quarterbacks do. You saw with a Dak Prescott, especially in his second year. That's what they call a sophomore slump. He didn't play well. Baker Mayfield didn't play that well. But Justin Herbert, he was so much better than these guys in his rookie year that even if he does fall off a little bit, it won't be by that much. And there's still a lot of things that he can improve on. And that's going to be fun. Like his touch on the ball. Give him an offseason. It may get to his head a little bit, like winning Rookie of the Year. So I wouldn't be surprised if Justin Herbert falls off. But I think him and the Chiefs, especially the Chiefs, because now they're paying a lot of people. Are they going to draft an offensive lineman? Are they going to develop their offensive line? Come on. Patrick Mahomes can't be running around. And he's going to get injured there. I'm not predicting that. But, he's already had an injury history. Next, there's going to be a new quarterback in San Francisco. Jimmy Garoppolo is done. Don't listen to what Kyle Shanahan is saying. He was trying to get rid of him last year. And what did Jimmy Garoppolo prove this year? That he's even more injury prone than they thought he was. I think they're going to go after a new quarterback, whether that's Matt Ryan to fit this system, whether that's a rookie in Kyle Trask or Mac Jones. There will be a different starting quarterback, and I'm not talking about Nick Mullins or C.J. Beathard. They're going to get a guy, Kyle Shanahan's guy. He's going to find his guy, and he's going to be in the room at least by the end of next year. Jimmy Garoppolo's contract, you can get rid of him like $3 million. The next team that could be getting a new quarterback is Carolina. That's a question mark for me. A lot of people think that they're going to find it in this draft. I'm not too sure about it. Who are they going to get? Especially now that they won, you're not going to get a Trey Lance, I don't think, unless, he falls. But you're not going to get your pick at the litter. And what if your guy doesn't drop to you? What are you going to do now? Pay another guy? Bringing in a Gardner Minshew maybe? Yeah, Gardner Minshew, I think, could... all he needs is weapons around him and get him an offensive line. Maybe it could work. But, yeah, that'll be interesting to see about that. And then next... T-Law. I'm like, T-Law? Who's T-Law? Trevor Lawrence. I read down T-Law. I'm like, what does that mean? Trevor Lawrence is going to be in Jacksonville, and I think the Jaguars are going to be a 9-win team next year. 9-8, because they're playing 17 games, if you didn't know. I always forget. But Trevor Lawrence is going to be a 9-win quarterback. They're going to be above 500 because he's going to be able to elevate this team. I'm not sure whether they're going to have a new coach, but let me tell you, I think Trevor Lawrence is an Andrew Luck type. I don't think that he's going to be 11-5 like Andrew was in his first year, but I think Trevor Lawrence is legit. The offensive line isn't as bad as people think. You just need some interior help. And also, I think you need a new left tackle. Juwan Taylor is serviceable, and you have a lot of weapons on that team. I think Trevor Lawrence is going to be bright for this team's future. I think they finished second, but it's going to be interesting to see what Trevor Lawrence does. He's going to be Rookie of the Year next year. We all know it was what the writing on the wall for Joe Burrow is, but the difference is I think they have a better offensive line. And then next, the last thing I'll say, this is a question. Who is going to be the next breakout quarterback? This year is Josh Allen. Last year is kind of Lamar Jackson, you could say, but the year before that, he was also playing fairly well. The year before that, Patrick Mahomes. The year before that, I think Carson Wentz, and then I kind of forget, Derek Carr maybe. But who's going to be the next breakout quarterback? Sam Darnold, is it going to be him? Is Dwayne Haskins going to have a resurrection of his career? Is it going to be Drew Lock? Is it going to be Daniel Jones? I don't know. This is kind of left out in the open. But there's going to be a breakout quarterback next year. Somebody that some people were predicting, but not a lot of people are seeing. I said that the Bills would go 9-7 this year. And I thought it was a fluke at the end of the season. But one quarterback is going to put in the work. Drew Lock, mature enough. We know Daniel Jones is mature enough, but does he have the instincts? Is he going to develop the instincts? Did he learn anything from this year from not being able to run at will and not being able to use his athleticism? Is Kyler Murray going to take a next step, even though he was a Pro Bowler this year? Somebody's going to take that step. I'm curious who it is. Let me know who you guys think it will be in the comment section down below. And as always, see you guys in my next video. For rarity, I'll see you guys next year. See you next year. And again, thank you guys for watching, and goodbye.